out there listening, world. Wesley Bray here with CoreScope Insights Podcast, your host. Hey, we hope y'all had a great new year out there, and we thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Tonight, I have got some very special guests in the studio tonight. Two of my favorite people in the HVAC industry, and believe it or not, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story. I've got Mr. Preston, can you put the camera on Mr. Kenny and Miss Teresa Wardlaw, the owners of Cool Care? Y'all give everybody a wave. Y'all on camera now.
Hey.
All right. Hey, but I got to tell a quick story here. Kenny can vouch for this. Kenny, when I got into this industry, gosh, over 20, well, it's been 27 years I've been in this industry now. Kenny Wardlaw was my very first customer as a HVAC contractor and gave me my very first purchase order in HVAC. And I want to thank him, to use this time to thank him from the bottom of my heart. I never thought that 27 years later I'd be sitting behind the desk interviewing you.
How about that?
But it
Here we
is
are.
certainly an honor. And not only are they great friends, I love these folks like family. And folks, for you that don't know, that's what business relationships can do. I've always said as a salesperson, it's easier to make a friend out of a customer than it is to make a customer out of a friend. And I did not know him before I started doing business with him. And it almost makes me tear up because I love these two like family, but did not know them until a cold call 27 years ago.
Yeah.
Am I far from the truth on that at all,
You're
Kenny?
spot on. That's
Spot
I
on.
exactly
didn't, I
what
didn't even
happened.
know that story. How did I miss that?
Yeah.
You
I
missed
had
that.
no idea. I didn't realize that. That's
I
amazing.
called on Kenny, and that was when Kenny's desk was in the bottom over there.
Yeah, I remember.
But hey, this is CoreScope Insights. We just here with y'all tonight. Thank y'all for hanging out. Show wouldn't be a show without those who listen and follow us. And I can't thank you enough. So we're going to have some fun here. And this is going to be a great interview, one I've been looking forward to for a long time. So we'll get into it. Kenny, Teresa, again, thank you for being here. Teresa, I'm going to start with you
Oh,
because
well, thank you for
Kenny,
having us.
Kenny, these two lovely folks are married, y'all. So if you happen to see one flip the other one off on here, that's normal. It's par for the course for them. Everything's okay. But hey, they're a married couple and good friends of mine. But I'm so proud of Teresa. We talk about this being a male dominant industry, and for a lot of reasons, and a lot not reasons, but for a good aspect it is. But Teresa, you are the majority owning business of Cool Care. So talk to that a little bit and tell us how you get involved with being a female owned business.
Um, it's wonderful. It's phenomenal. It hasn't been easy. It was harder. It's a lot better than it was for
Sure.
sure back in the early days. I remember going to well, back in the Skahek days, I guess. One of something they were doing down in Charleston, and I walked into the meeting with Kenny, and they directed me to, well, the wives are doing this over here, and I wanted to go into the meeting, and I told him I wasn't there to go shopping or get a massage or do whatever the women were doing, which I didn't mind that they were doing that. It just wasn't on my agenda. I wanted to be a part of, you know, we are, we're this is 26 years ago, and we're starting Cool Care, scared to death. uh, Just everything, the fear that you have with starting a business, that,
Yep.
just everything you go through, and the kids, and just everything, the responsibility of it, and just never, stepping into an area that you're just not used to stepping into. So we had made the decision, if we were doing it, we were going to do it. We were going to
Sure.
go 150%. And I wanted to be there with Kenny. I wanted to be in the meetings. I wanted to be in that part of it as well, because we complement each other so well. But
Right.
the way that we do that is by sharing responsibilities and communicating well with each other. And we just complement each other well. So I need to be there because I'll pick up on something. I might have, what I saw in the meeting were 30 guys with long hair and camouflage hats. And
Yeah.
Now, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but they had their wife beaters on, their sleeves cut out, and um, I, I just walked in there and was like, the opportunity here for us to really clean up the industry and clean up the trades. That
Right,
just
right.
that image,
You had that woman's perspective that a
correct?
man doesn't have.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I remember one time we were getting estimates to have a roof done at our house, and Kitty said, "Honey, I'm gonna need you to meet this guy. I've got to meet a customer." Fine, not a problem. This guy pulls up to my house in a rape van, and we've got teenage daughters and teenage kids now. Our kids walked around in their underwear half the time. We were
Right.
constantly like, "Please go put some clothes on."
Sure.
Like, I don't want to see that,
Right.
you know. And well, I didn't want anyone to
No,
see it.
I told y'all we were going to have some fun tonight.
Yeah.
So with this,
Oh yeah. So
I
I
love
called
this.
Kenny and I'm like, and the way this man talked to me, little lady, I just felt like he was just talking to me like I was just dumb as a box of rocks
Right. Because you just were a
because I
woman.
was the woman.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off so bad. I called him and I said, "Get your butt home." Sorry, sorry,
You're
sorry.
fine.
Get home because we're not "Oh, he's a nice guy," and I was like, "No," and he could have had the best product. Here's the thing, he could have been selling the best product, the best shingle, everything could have been on point, but I wasn't gonna use him,
Right. Right.
and I meant we weren't gonna use him because of the way he talked to me, and I don't customers, especially moms, parents, and I think dads too, I just don't have that perspective. I don't want people showing up like that at my house.
Yeah. Absolutely. You wanted to set a standard for how you were going to do
100%.
business. And I'm the same way, and this is an industry, and Kenny, you've always been professional, and I have always, I prefer to wear pants when I go see a customer versus jeans,
Or a
although it's just,
dress.
oh
I
yeah,
mean, well,
exactly, and that's just the way I was taught. Luckily, I had some wonderful mentors in this business
correct.
that always told me dress like,
Dress for
dress.
success.
Well, that was the way it was explained to me was dress like the position you want ahead of you.
Great
If
advice.
it's great advice.
It is good advice.
Dress like the person
Mhm,
that you want to be next in business.
mhm.
So I took that. But Teresa, great job. You answered some of the questions I had laid out here. So for my listeners out there, I had these questions that she's pretty much covered. So I was going to ask her, can you each introduce yourself? So Kenny, I want to give you a chance to talk. Teresa, you've been talking. Just give Kenny a second here.
Yeah,
Kenny,
give
You
me
talk.
can have go
so
ahead,
I can
Introduce
get a
honey.
yourself.
word in
Go ahead,
edgewise.
honey. You've got
You
this.
know,
Tell them
one
everything
thing
I
I
told you
would
to say.
yeah, one of the things that, before we even got started, I'd still be a service tech for one of the local companies, except the air conditioning went out in my van, and I said, "Hey, boss, I found a compressor for $150. If you buy it, I'll put it in on Saturday on my own time." And he said, "No, Kenny, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna keep that van." I'm like, "Yes, I'm gonna get a new van." And a whole year later, I'm still driving in that van with no air conditioning, the windows down. It's 100 degrees. I'm stuck in traffic in downtown Columbia. And Teresa calls me. I knew her, but not well. And she said, "Hey, you know any good service techs?" And I said, "Do y'all have any air conditioned vans?" And she said, "We sure do." And I said, "Well, I'll be right over." And she said, "I didn't know you were a service tech." I said, "Yeah, well, I'm a
So we
service
knew
tech."
each other, and we
And
both were
so
in the
that was,
same we both worked in the same industry, both
That
for
is such a
different
lovely story.
I worked
and
for a
then when we
Carrier
were
dealer,
working
and he was working
together,
for a Bryant dealer.
he was a crook, and we were working together, and they paired us up like a different dispatcher with a different tech each month. And so in August, they put us together, and we set every record they ever had for sales and profit and everything else. And while we were working together, we worked together really well. I said, I bet you and I could make a good living together. And she said, "I thought the same thing." And
You
lo and
The
knew.
behold,
rest is
Who
history.
yeah,
knew?
So
yeah.
that was
But
the beginning of Cool
the
Care.
thing
Hmm.
is that we both what was so neat about that, look, we both had the same work ethics. We both had the same shared values, just good values and the same work ethic you have, that what you talk about, that
Right.
great work ethic. That's why we work so well together. Just those common grounds that
And
we have.
that's why I feel like this business can be so rewarding. It can be very treacherous in the beginning, starting out, especially, so there's aspects of this business that are very technical, some still that I don't understand. So if y'all think I'm the most, just because I'm a podcast host and you think, hey, Wesley Bray must know what he's talking, Wesley Bray don't know nothing. Wesley surrounds himself with people who know a lot more than he does. And that's what you guys have
He's your
done.
guy.
That's what yes, that's what you guys have done with your
Mhm.
business as well. Your technicians and the people that you bring on, they represent your company in a
And
professional
we
way and
love
they're
what
trained.
we love what we do.
Absolutely.
We've
And
got
so
the
do
best
I. This is
employees, the best customers, like we do. And occasionally, you've got issues, but
yeah,
everyone does. You just work it out. You work through it. You do the best you can. As
exactly.
long as you do the right thing, God blesses you every day.
Absolutely. Amen to that. I got to keep the man upstairs thankful. I'm
That's
so
right.
thankful for what he's blessed me with and the opportunities. And it's funny at 54 years old, I'll be 55 next month, y'all. So the gray hair's starting to catch up with the number of years. I don't know if it's surpassed it or not. I got a few up there, but not many.
You
But
have hair still.
I
That's
still
good.
got hair still. I'm
Right.
thankful for that. But here's what I want to say. At 54 years old, it wasn't until I started Core Scope Enterprises. I used to love my weekends. I used to fish. You know this, Kenny. I
Oh
used to
yeah.
fish a lot. Now, I used to be in a band. I've done a lot of different things to how can I use my weekend time? But folks, believe me when I say I love the week now. Mondays are my favorite day of the week because I get to go do something I enjoy. Fridays at 4 p.m. when I can't go see my customers for 2 days and it weighs on my mind that I can't do what I love to do for 2 days straight. I really honestly mean it when I say that. So, but I mean, really, I have gotten to the point to where in my work career, I despise weekends because I can't get this. This to me is so much fun. It took 27 plus years to get to this point to where I'm having more fun than I've ever had in my life. But I love this business. And this business, I see, we're able to help with charities and things and be involved at our church and things like that. And I feel like that, we're giving back to wounded warriors. I love the fact we, give prizes away on every show. It's just a way I want to give back. I want to be there for other people.
Such a great opportunity to
Oh, it's
meet
such
people
a
from all walks of life and really just the
absolutely.
best people in the world we've had the privilege of working with and working for over
Mm.
the years.
And I got to give kudos to y'all because y'all have done this for years. I know my wife and Preston have been to your shop a couple of times, or at least one time I know to help you guys do
Harvest Hope.
Harvest Hope and giving canned food out. So, folks, we're talking to a couple of owners of a business here that do care and give back to their community. Y'all have also given away free installs for equipment before
Mhm.
in the past to help people. So, when we're talking a company here, we're not just talking about a heating and air company. Okay, there's a lot of heating and air companies out there, but there are very few that give back to the community and do as much as the Wardlaws do for the great city of Columbia and the surrounding areas. So, from the bottom of my heart and knowing how involved y'all are, I want to give y'all a great round of kudos for that.
Thank
I know, well, the
you.
mic don't pick up claps, okay?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm clapping for you.
Your
So,
spirit
folks,
fingers or something like that.
so Kenny, we got your introduction out of the way. What was the biggest challenges y'all faced in the early days, other than being a woman-owned business? We talked about that, but what was the biggest challenges y'all saw back then starting a business?
We were the biggest challenge back then.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the passion between each other
Yeah,
from getting exposed while you're
I
working.
got diagnosed with cancer our
Yeah.
first year in business, and
And it wasn't just any cancer. It had a higher death rate than
pancreatic.
pancreatic cancer does. And so it didn't look good. It was a really scary time. And right in the middle of her radiation treatment, she got the lifetime maximum of radiation on her head, and she's been cancer free for 20
That was a
something
blessing.
years.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you
Yeah.
to our
but
Lord
right
and
in the
Savior.
middle of that,
God.
I ended up getting a quadruple bypass. So,
Yeah.
I was 40 years old. I had 4% body fat. And I said the only person more shocked than me was my doctor. You know, he's like, what the heck?
Know how that relates to the story of y'all getting together, right?
Yeah.
She had to have head damage from falling for you, and your heart was about to explode for love for her. That's what it was.
That's right.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's what
That
y'all
was
can
it.
tell people is, hey,
Head over
she
heels
had.
in love.
I'm just
And
picking.
so the day after I got out of the hospital, I had to get her to drive me, and we crawled under a house, and
No,
she
we
she
took.
fixed the
I had a
furnace while I
tailgating.
sat there and told her what to do.
I had a tailgating chair, and
Yeah, I sat at the scuttle
and
hole door.
he sat at the scuttle hole. And this is, I might cry talking about this because anyway, it's just the life, challenges. And we had just started our business and we were doing well. I had no, you just God's plan and
Sure.
trusting that plan. It's so hard. Now we can look back and be like, oh, wow. But in that moment, um, being diagnosed and not being done with the kids and worrying about everything, and then Kenny having his bypass, uh, you know, we just had each other.
Yeah.
We didn't have a team like we have now. We didn't, God, what we weren't ready for that, and that was we were laying the foundation, and so I would take our tailgating chair and sit it outside the scuttle hole, and I had to cover my face because of where my radiation coordinates was. My face was burnt, and at some point it became raw
Yeah.
from the radiation. So I had to cover my face so that I didn't get dirt and dust and all the nasty that's under a crawl space or in an
Right.
attic. And I would crawl under there, Polaroid camera, take a picture, tell Kenny what I found, and come back, and I would just crawl back and forth.
That's great.
And so I was, he was the eyes and would tell me what to do. And
But this business saved her life too,
it
because
did save my
Sure.
life.
it was a rare cancer, and one of the things that one of my customers said, hey, you should send that slide to MD Anderson. It's the best hospital in the world for cancer. And so we did, and they came back with a completely different prescription of what to do
Different
than what we
diagnosis.
had planned on, or what the local doctors were going to do. And so they just did what MD Anderson told them to do, and she's
He
been
don't.
fine ever since.
They did everything. MD
Wow.
Anderson found us our my oncologist and somebody who would follow it did it all for us. They were
That's
phenomenal.
awesome.
And
Mhm.
it costs
It's
$300.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, folks, hey, that winds down segment one. We're going to be right back, but don't y'all go anywhere. We're having fun. We hoping y'all enjoying the content tonight. We got two wonderful folks in here with us, and I can't thank y'all enough for tuning in. But listen, we're going to take a short break, recognize our sponsors during this time, those who make this show possible for Core Scope, where we're at the core of industry, expanding the scope. We'll be right back. Can we all agree that in today's workplace, strong performances start with strong character? At Yes to the Joy, they understand that employees who feel supported, balanced, and confident become the leaders who move organizations forward. Their programs are designed to strengthen and help individuals establish healthy boundaries, set meaningful goals, and develop practical strategies to protect their peace and maintain focus. With flexible self-care workshops available, Yes to the Joy delivers measurable value for organizations committed to improving productivity, communication, and workplace culture. Never been a better time to invest in your people, empower your leaders, elevate your organization. Choose Yes to the Joy, where strong character builds strong results. Find out more at www.plcjourney.com. When you're ready to feel refreshed, confident, and completely taken care of, it's time for a visit to Naughty Oak Salon in Lexington, South Carolina. From precision cuts and vibrant color to smoothing treatments, styling, and also hair transformations, their talented stylists bring out the best in your look every time. At Naughty Oak Salon, you're more than an appointment, you're a guest. A place where the atmosphere is warm, the conversations are real, and the results speak for themselves. Whether you're updating your style, preparing for a special occasion, or just treating yourself, Naughty Oak Salon delivers personalized care with professional flair. Call 803-394-5114 to book your appointment today. That's 803-394-5114. All right, folks, we're right back at it, and we're still having fun, so we hope you are. Hey, Kenny and Teresa, kickoff segment 2, and we'll get right to the point here with a couple of pointed questions. So, with the HVAC industry becoming more and more crowded, and, it's kind of, I see a lot of companies are going more corporate, things like that, and they're being bought out. You guys are still family owned, and you guys have great business and aspects. And recently you added plumbing to what you offer customers as well. And so just expand a little bit about that if you can. And Kenny, I'll pitch this one to you. What do you think truly sets you guys apart from all these other companies out here? And what, from your aspect, what drives Cool Care to be Cool Care?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question. And I love what I do, and I've got everything that we've done just comes off of a story, really. But I went to little old lady's house. She was sweet as pie, had a terrible problem with dust, and so I sold her the best. I looked up the highest rated air cleaner at that time. It was Train Clean Effects, and I put it in. I went to get a check from her the next day, and we're sitting at her kitchen table, and she's swipes the dust off so she can put her checkbook down and pay me. And I could just feel my face getting red. I said, oh my gosh. I was so embarrassed because I knew I didn't do her a bit of good. I had no idea why. And I came home and told Teresa about it, and she found the only heat and air convention in the world at the time, and signed me up and bought a plane ticket, and off I went. I got so mad when I got there because there 1,500 people there, 500 vendors, and I was the only one from South Carolina. And there's the government spent billions of dollars on um, the science of homes.
Sure.
Every single possible thing you could think of has been settled. The science is settled. It's just people don't know about it.
Right. Yeah.
And so
Good
I
point.
saw
That's a good
all this
point.
stuff. And so I tied into all these things that the top companies in the nation were doing, and I learned and got certified in it all. And that's what really separated us. So like when the local power company started giving rebates, they used our company for their training videos because we were the only
Wow.
ones certified. And it's for a little while there were several others that got into it, several other companies, but now I think we might still be the only company that has all the certifications and
That
so
that
that
that kind yeah, that's great, and that leads me to a question I had. What does doing the job right mean to Cool Care? And I think that's important. What does doing the job right mean to Cool Care when you walk into a customer's home and you just you always go above and beyond. And I can throw this out there from, you guys doing the work in my home ever since when we lived in White Knoll Estates. Before we moved, you guys have always done my service work as far as taking care of me, and what great providers you have. And I've always felt like the service contracts that you guys offer has always been there for our benefit because you take care of us. Kenny, I'm not lying here. Kenny will tell, he will throw me under the bus on this. Kenny will tell you I'm probably the only one that will call him at night at 12 o'clock at night and say, Kenny, I got a problem. But I have done that before. Not that I want you to have to do that.
You're not.
But I have.
Listen,
But so
more
you
of our
guys,
customers have his cell phone number,
and that's great service.
and they know how they'll find us.
Sure.
They'll find, and
Absolutely.
listen, we might not like some of those calls we get, but I tell you what, that's how you grow. That's how you develop. Mistakes are opportunities, or issues, or what they're opportunities for us to learn and develop
Sure.
ourselves. So, we love getting, like the time that we had a customer call me during the February that it snowed like 5 times or 3
Sure.
times or whatever. called me because the answering service we had used had put him on hold for 40 minutes, and
Right,
he was livid, and he had my cell number and called me, so I immediately dispatched someone to him and took care of his problem and called us,
right.
and I got put on hold for 40 minutes, and when
Yeah,
that young
that's
man answered the phone, I let him know, "We're gonna unforward this and no more," and
right.
since that day, we have never used an answering service. We
Sure.
have
You have live people
if you ever
answering the
call Pool
phone.
Care, you're gonna get an employee
Sure.
who has access
And I can
to
vouch for that.
your
That's
record.
incredible service
Mhm.
because I know you guys have, you know, wonderful employees answering the phone for you over there. You've got Daryl,
A great
operations
team.
manager, great
Oh my
team,
gosh, they're
just great
amazing.
I mean, just great people. So, folks, when you do business with Cool Care, you know, from my experience and of course my relationship with these folks as long as we've known each other, um, you know, I can tell you, you're going to get professionalism at its finest. And that throws me to next. I mean, I was going to ask you how important is customer service and trust in your business, but I think you guys have already covered. And
Everything.
I think I have, yes, trust in customer service is important. And I think you
Mhm.
guys do a very good job
The
of.
hardest part of that is getting people to adopt your values.
Sure.
And, that's and your work ethic, and that's the hard of course, that's just a problem everybody has in this world today, but along the line, it's been the issue with he can't be on every call.
Right. Exactly.
Um,
Yeah, we don't get every call right the first time, but we always get it right before we quit.
that's right.
Yeah, sure, exactly right. And that, what in being in this business, and I want to say this to you folks out there listening. One thing that has always aggravated me, and I think this just goes back to good business genetics, if you will, if that's even a such thing. But I'm gonna say that's the word I use, genetics. So it's good business genetics. And one thing that I have always practiced, and I feel like I'm speaking for you guys on your behalf on this, but I have seen in the past. And one thing, let me tell you what irritates me. If I get a phone call today, if I get an email today, if I get a text message today, you can rest assured that Wesley Bray does not go to bed or cannot close his eyes to sleep until he has gotten back with you and answered whatever means of communication it is. And I think that I can speak for you guys in saying you offer the same to your customers. And that is really something to be pat yourself on the back for in this day and time, especially with automation and everything else. But the fact that y'all do have people to answer the phone and take care and hear the concerns and voice of customer over the phone as you do with every phone call, and every phone call being recorded so that you can come back and listen to it. Because I know we've had situations with that. We won't get into that, but I mean,
We
we've had,
listen to every
yeah,
call.
they
We listen
listen
to
to the
every one
calls.
of
So
them.
that as a business owner, I think that is tremendous. So but just, yeah, moving on. But that's something I just had to put out there. And those are things that irritate me, but things that you won't have to worry about when you call Cool Care. Um, so I want to ask you, Kenny, back to you again on this one. What are some common HVAC mistakes homeowners make that end up costing them more money?
Lack of
Mm.
maintenance, dirty filters, um, thinking, "Oh, I don't need to do it. It's still working fine. I don't need to do anything to it." That's the biggest thing, lack of maintenance. And unfortunately, a lot of companies now, they offer a real discounted service agreement,
Sure.
and they go out and check everything, but they
Right.
don't wash anything. And,
Well, all this stuff is
you know,
add-ons. It's not just a flat this is what you pay for the year.
Sure. And these are things, a lot of people don't discuss this, but I have found it out. We're in South Carolina where we have sandy soil. And every time you mow your lawn, people don't think about this, but your unit takes a beating. You get sand thrown up
Mhm.
in the coils and on the outside of the unit that get through those little cracks. So, which leads me to my next question. And Teresa, I'm gonna give this one to you.
Okay.
How often should homeowners prepare to have how often should homeowners service their units a year?
Twice a year. Right now,
Twice a
it's
year.
twice a year. I
Yep.
think one day, the further we go down the line, it may be more than that, based on those coils you're talking about. The space is
Sure.
getting smaller and smaller, but I do think, twice a year. And one thing that really is a struggle for, like working in the office and dispatch, calling people ahead of time, preventive maintenance. It's preventive. And with South Carolina, I mean, today it's 75 outside,
Right, right,
it's, January 6th. So we have customers that will say, well, it's still pretty nice outside. And, we'll start calling in September, October, and it's too early. It's never too early.
right.
And I will tell you another challenge that we have now with what I love about doing it early, there's a too early, but there's also a window that's not too early.
Right.
Um, and it's so important to take care of it. If you need a heating part, we want to make sure that you have that heating part
Right.
before you need your heat.
That's great.
Since COVID, parts are not like they used to be.
Right.
That's been we have manufacturers, they're still using COVID as an excuse
Right.
why we don't have parts, why we haven't made this yet. You're going to have to wait for this. It's so hard to tell that to customers.
Right.
Um, that so I want to be able to have time, when they're distributing these parts in the United States, uh, we're not getting a lot of heating parts in the South. It's not lucrative to stock your shelves with heating parts here.
Right.
So, we usually have to go and find them and have them brought in. So I want to make sure we have time to get it right. So when they need it, they're comfortable. You got to be comfortable in your castle.
Is there an HVAC myth that you would that you hear all the time that maybe you guys would like to clear up?
You need more. Bigger's better.
Bigger's better,
That's
and that leads kind of the next one. Energy efficient is a big topic. So, what upgrades or habits can help homeowners save on their utility bills, Kenny?
um, well, if your ductwork is leaking, the average duct system leaks 20 to 40% of the air. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have an average size unit, you're going to blow 200 to 400 basketballs of air every minute in the crawl space or the attic. And that your house gives you signs of that. A lot of dust, that
Sure.
I talked about the lady that had the dust problem and I didn't know what was wrong with it. And to close that story, I found out the reason her problem was duct leakage. And so we actually air sealed her duct system, and that's a machine that fogs and seals a system. And we cut her leakage down 99% and her dust went away. And so there's a
Hey,
happy ending.
Resolve. That was a
Yeah.
good resolve.
But
So let me ask you this. Or did I cut you
yeah,
off?
no, you're good.
Okay. Let me ask you this. How has the HVAC industry changed over the years, and how has Cool Care adapted?
It's I like the changes we've had because there aren't many gray-headed old men that
Right.
crawling under houses and climbing into attics anymore.
Sure.
And I still have, but anyway,
Is
so the
a
people
heating and
that
air nerd, first of
the
all. He's
people
on
that can
top of it.
fix it, that it's getting harder. And so one of the things is, they're going to be making all the units where they're all diagnostic. They're all going to be inverter driven. That's what's coming. And as you know, so it's a lot more complicated. When I first started, you put your hand on the Freon line. If you want it beer can cold was what I was taught.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, if you're off 3 ounces on
On a
a
charge.
even a 10-ton, like VRF system,
Big
you can
difference.
shut that sucker down in the middle of a snowstorm or
Right.
something. And so it's technical now. The technical help you get, you can call on the phone or do stuff. It's hard to get a live person that knows anything really, but there's a lot more help online.
Sure. Sure.
Because you used to, I mean, you're kind of out there on your own when I first started in 1985.
I'm
I'll
gonna take
tell
a.
you, he is so passionate about, like, the other day I came in from work and he was reading a mini split installation manual.
Oh yeah. He's always reading. The
And I'm
guy's a
like,
bookworm.
why? Just, yeah.
He's a
He's on top
bookworm.
of the innovation for sure. He knows
So we got one more question before we go to our next segment break, and so I'll give you guys. I'm gonna pitch the question. Whoever dives on it first, go for it. But you got 30 seconds, okay? All right. So,
Do we have a
what?
we need buzzers.
So let's see. Let me ask this question because I think it's important, and I think it tells our listeners how you guys go about approaching with your technicians and the people that work for you. How do you approach hiring and training technicians to maintain in quality and integrity with your business?
You want me to answer?
Sure.
Okay. You're so good at that. Thank you. So we always have so we have in our leadership, we have several people that have gotten it, get it. They work for us. They are us. They're family. We share the same values. We share everything. And so we start vetting. We do use, we vet people first to make sure that they're a qualified candidate, that it's somebody that we always make sure a woman is in the room, whether it's female candidates or male candidates, because that female intuition is
Sure.
there 100%. So we really ask the right questions. We listen. Um, social media is such a you can really go on and look and see a lot of things, learn a lot about a person from
Sure.
social media. So we do a little homework before we have someone come in. I want to make sure that whoever comes into your house is somebody that I would be comfortable coming into my house.
Gotcha. Good. That's great. Hey, that'll take us to our next break, folks. We'll be right back. We're just having fun here tonight and having great conversation. And hopefully you're learning something if you're a homeowner about how often to service your equipment, and if you guys are out there and you're looking for an opportunity. And I think you guys are you right now currently hiring technicians that are qualified, or
Always hiring.
always hiring. So, hey, if you're someone out there and you're looking for a job in HVAC and you want a great place to learn the trade, and maybe you haven't been to school for it, regardless, call Kenny and Teresa at Cool Care, and I'm sure there's some opportunities that they would love to talk to you if you are serious about getting into this industry. But hey, hold that thought. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. When you need serious protection for the places that take the toughest beatings, you need Rhino Linings of Lexington. From truck bed liners that stand up to work, weather, and weekend adventures, to hunting dog boxes, boats, or ATVs, and anywhere you want a tough, non-slip surface, you can trust Rhino to keep it protected, durable, and looking sharp. Family owned and dedicated to quality, Rhino Linings of Lexington delivers a kind of long-lasting strength you can feel every time you put your gear to work. Stop by and see them today at 108 White Oak Lane in Lexington, South Carolina, or call 803-794-9257 to schedule your install. That's Rhino Linings of Lexington. Protect it once, protect it for good. Visit rhinoliningslexington.com. Are you looking for top quality glass service in Lexington, South Carolina, or the surrounding areas? Diamond Glass has you covered. Whether it's residential windows, custom mirrors, shower enclosures, or commercial glass installation, they deliver precision, durability, and style every time. Need a repair or a full replacement? Let their expert team make it fast, easy, and affordable so your home or business always shines. Don't wait. Give your space the sparkle it deserves. Call Diamond Glass of Lexington today at 803-796-0988. That's 803-796-0988. For all your glass needs, think Diamond Glass, a cut above. All right, welcome back, folks. So, Teresa, Kenny, I got a question here. I just wanted to ask you regarding Cool Care. Where do you see Cool Care in 3 to 5 years?
I think we'll still be locally owned and operated, and hopefully we may pick up another trade. Our daughter's a master electrician, and we don't do
She's a
electricians
builder.
yet,
She does
but
all sorts of stuff.
He does.
We're not
Talk
picking up.
about another woman-owned business. She has done phenomenal for herself. So, Tia, if you're watching out there, congratulations, sweetheart. You're The bomb.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
All right.
Amazing.
So let's see here. Are there any services, technologies, or expansions you're excited about? I know you guys have plumbing now, so you want to talk about that as well?
Yeah, plumbing is a great industry. I mean, it's really hard to find good help, but we've managed, and
We
once you
have
have
to.
good help, I mean, that makes all the difference in the world. So just being able to fix a call right the first time makes life so much better for everybody. But it's like with air conditioning, we talked about 20 to 40% leakage. You can ask somebody, well, how much leakage would you like to have on your sewer line? And the answer is always 0,
Right,
so
right.
it's got to be
Absolutely.
done right.
Absolutely.
And
And you guys also, folks, I had to have my tankless water heater replaced here not too long ago, and you guys done a phenomenal job with that. And I know, just for my neighbors who have texted me and sent me information about, hey, when should I replace my water heaters, or any of those of you that have asked me questions in the past about water heaters, Cool Care Heating and Air can take care of water heater replacement for you, or servicing your current water heater, because little do they tell you when you buy your house or when you get a tankless water heater, they need to be flushed at least
Once a year.
once a year.
Hmm.
So great, great. So yeah, you want to talk about what flushing does for it? I'll let either one of y'all answer that.
well, it extends the life is what it
Sure.
does. I mean, it clogs up with the lime and scale and deposits, and
Minerals from the water.
Yep.
if you don't, if you do that, it can last at least 20 years, and if you don't, you're lucky to get 10. So.
Excellent information. Excellent information. And I want to ask you, what would you say to a young person nowadays? Our young children, our young adults are heavily persuaded go to college. That's the only route for you to go. And that, well, not the only route, but I'm not, but they're so heavily persuaded to go to college. What would you give? What advice would you give to someone that says, "Hey, I like working with my hands. I just don't know I don't know the ins and out of the trades, but I love working
Come
with my."
see us.
Come see you. That good point.
Yeah.
Good
I,
point.
Yeah, I got a degree in accounting and worked for a CPA for a year before I got into heating and air, and I was working keeping books at a heating
Would
and
have
air
ever figured,
company.
Kenny, because you like to read and be in a book so much.
And yeah, so I was there, and this I'm sitting there with the I'm losing my train of thought there, but the
he lost it.
hold on one
I'm
second,
his train of
it'll
thought.
come back.
You're good, brother.
So we were talking about my accounting, and I saw anyway, I'm got a degree in accounting, working at a heat and air company, and I saw this guy that couldn't sign his name making double what I was, and I thought, dang, it can't be that hard. And so I learned. Well, first I computerized everything, and then I didn't have much to do, so I learned the trade, and
That's
I
awesome.
love it. And we have guys that you know probably couldn't pass a test, and they can make up to $200,000 a year.
Sure. That's a great
If you know
point.
what you're doing. It doesn't happen the first year, but you can make a great living doing this.
I got one more question here before, folks. We're going to spin the wheel after this question here, as we do on every show. But one last question here. What message, Kenny? I'm going to toss this one to you too. What message would you give a homeowner that's hesitant to call an HVAC professional?
It's pretty dangerous work. That's high voltage and high pressure. You could burn your hands like that. And it's so getting it done right. Most people actually spend double what they need to heat and cool their home
Sure.
because it's not efficient. So call a professional and get it done right, and it'll last longer. That's a big investment.
Advice. Good advice. All right, folks, it has been such a pleasure having y'all in the room tonight. I can just feel the love in the room, and I can't tell you what a joy it is to have people that you get along with so well and can talk trade. We actually, when we get together for Gamecock games, we're all Gamecocks here, Gamecock fans. So Clemson fans don't get mad, but we got to go support our
I will.
Cocks. We got to go
That's right.
support our Gamecocks. And by the way, Kenny and Teresa also are huge supporters of the Gamecocks, and I'm sure they appreciate that, and that's something you guys have always done. Kenny is a very passionate football player. If it rains, pours, sleets, or snows, he's always down on that same part of he gets that same seat every year, don't you, Kenny?
Every year.
Yeah, he loves that bench down there, but he's always rooting for your Gamecocks out there. So I just got to throw that out there. You won't find much of a bigger Gamecock fan anywhere. But hey, we're at that point in the show, y'all. Thanks for tuning in again. We can't say that enough. Thank our sponsors. Thank our listeners. We really appreciate you, and we just can't say that enough. But we're at that point in the show where we're about to sign off. But before we do, we're going to spin the wheel over there so that someone has an opportunity to win a great prize. So, Preston, if you'll put the camera on the wheel there.
Kenny, you're spinning. I'm reading it.
You're reading it. There we go.
Good spin.
Good spin. Good spin. Good spin.
Let's see. Core Scope hat.
Someone has won a Core Scope hat tonight. That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're going to reach into our lucky gold wheel over here, folks, and we're going to pull out a winner for the Core Scope hat tonight. So, Kenny, shake that thing up good. You got the camera on Kenny over there. There we go. Give it a good spin, turn.
You're so funny.
Just one, Kenny.
Just
All right,
one.
we'll put that one back. The lucky
Oh, you got no. Wait a minute now. You got to participate. Let Teresa read the winner since you got to spin the wheel both times.
Raymond Rollins with McCall Supply.
Raymond Rollins, great friend of mine, good guy. Oh, he is awesome. That man is so. Raymond, we love your energy. We love what you bring to the table and how you put a smile on everybody's face every time we're in your presence, or I can speak for myself anyway. But Raymond Rollins, congratulations. You have won a Core Scope Insights hat, and that's going to look like this right here, Raymond. So, I will see you or get this to you, and congratulations, and thank you for subscribing to Core Scope Insights. Folks, that's going to be all tonight. Let's put the camera on Kenny and Teresa, and on the count of 3, we're going to wave everybody out and tell them thank you for joining. So 1, 2, 3, see you next time.
Thanks.